changing our energy field, magnetic field, moment by moment. So it's like if you have a heartfelt, that's why esoteric traditions say heartfelt or follow your heart, because when you follow your heart, when you have a heartfelt purpose, when your heart vibrates and pumps with a clear mission, which is in Japanese, the definition of breath, interestingly enough, when heart and mind is one, the word is breath in Japanese. Interesting. And when your heart and mind is one, when they are aligned, when your vision, clear vision, and your mission, vision and mission are aligned, you vibrate at a different frequency, which there has been some researches around it. It's the prefrontal cortex of the brain being activated as well, and then you vibrate at gamma level, which is the highest frequency, which can be said God self. So when that happens, your whole energy field, electromagnetic field changes, and that is also kind of like this subtle energy where anyone who is not aligned with your vision can't just be kind of like basically in front of you. It's like for anyone to meet a clear, mission-driven visionary, a missionary and a visionary, is only when they're aligned with that vision. If you weren't aligned with that vision, you wouldn't be able to come to this room today. That's how clear I am about who I am and what my mission is, what my vision is. And the more clearer you get, you will only be, and that's why they call it the easy path. It's the path that is hard to achieve, but it's also the easy path. Because once you get there, you only meet with people who are aligned with your vision, who will help you with that vision, have the same or similar mission. And my vision and my mission is clearly self-mastery, helping humanity get to the next level. Next level humans is my slogan, has been my slogan for many years now. I'm only interested in getting humans to the next level, which is connecting them with their God selves and helping them become unstoppable and master all areas of life. That's like clear, that's my personal mission. And if you're not aligned with that, you can't meet me. You know, that's just clear. And that's gonna happen for you as well. It's like, the clearer you get around your mission, the less people you will be meeting, the less people will be around you, but the more meaningful your relationships will become. I had, maybe 20 years ago, I had hundreds of friends I see and meet, and then as I get clearer and clearer and clearer on what my mission was, now I have a few meaningful friends which are legacy themselves, because that is a legacy. You're just building that long-term, lifelong relationship. That's the same with marriage, family, friends, business. So it's like, for us to build meaningful, sustainable businesses, for us to build meaningful, sustainable relationships, for us to build meaningful, sustainable lives, which is the definition of legacy. Businesses that do not fail, keep on growing. Relationships that do not fail, but keep on growing. We need to be grounded in our roots and in our essence, which is what I call mission. The big why. Why are you here? And what's your meaning? Not in the eyes of humanity, the ego world, but in the eyes of the universe. Who are you in the universe? Why did this thing get born where she got born? At the time she got born, like, what's she doing in this world, What was the reason she was born? Because when you look at the universe, I studied science my whole life. I was very interested in physics and chemistry and biology. At school, I was like A+ in those areas. And I really, really love chemistry and human biology and physics, the metaphysics of the universe. And when you really learn how physics work, or the physical laws, or math, it's just perfect. It's just perfect equation, and it's like when people say, philosophers say, nothing is meaningless, everything has a meaning, and nothing happens by coincidence. I'm like, of course nothing happens by coincidence, because it can't. You know, because of math, it can't. Because of physics, there is no such thing as coincidences. It's just mapped out. And who you are has also been mapped out. We all have a mission to fulfill. We all have a purpose. We all have a calling. And if we're not aligned with that, we're just wasting our time in this lifetime. You know, that's why people are sad. That's why people have all kinds of symptoms and sicknesses. All symptoms we experience are just symbols or are just signs that you're not aligned with who you are. Why do I know this? Because I've experienced it. The more aligned I got with my mission, the less symptoms I started having. I haven't had any symptom. I even, you know, I was COVID 2 times. And it was an easy experience. I wouldn't say I was about to die. I kept on working when I had COVID. I just stayed in my own room so that my husband and my daughter doesn't have it. But I kept on working. I was a bit tired. My body was fighting with the virus, but it was okay. Since 15 years, I didn't see a doctor. I didn't have any symptoms, not even a headache. And I am experiencing physically, I'm going to turn 50 this year. I am experiencing that physically, how it feels to be beyond physical limits. I didn't imagine myself at 50 looking like this or with this energy. I'm not full on. It just feels like I just started everything. That's what mission-driven makes us. That's like purposeful people. And that's why our goal is supporting entrepreneurs create meaningful, sustainable ventures and lives. And these are all the things you already know. You checked. I don't think it is important. These are important for today. You already know the program. It is on our website. So I'll just skip these because I would like to jump into, with this conversation, the main door that opens to high potential in life. Like, how is that possible? Because again, it's cliche, like I said, all the accelerators, you go on Y Combinator's website, it's written, and then elsewhere it's written, what, and that's the classic question VCs and investors ask, you know, like, what keeps you up at night? And that's so shallow. For me, I mean, it's like, you know, haven't they read a bit of human behavior? It's like, what keeps you up at night it has something to do with your purpose, but not that much. Because it's not like the way they say, because it's like, what keeps us up at night is usually our conditioning and the noise in our head. So when you look at the mind and the brain, and I have a TEDx talk about this, and I usually summarize it in our accelerator as well. Joe Dispenza talks about it, other neuroscientists talks about it. The more judgments we have, and we have had throughout our childhood, the more episodic memories we will have in our brain. So there is a thing in the brain called episodic memories, and those are photographic memories, which exist because of every moment we judged and labeled things. So it's like throughout your childhood, every time you judge something as good or bad, every time you label what is as good or bad, positive or negative, this and that, our brain takes a photograph. Why? Because in the universe, because of physical laws, there is no such thing as only positive and only negative. So just a brief something to remember for all of us. Because of the physical laws, because of the laws of the universe, nothing in our daily experiences can be only positive or only negative. It is impossible because of physical laws. And when you look at an atom is made of neutrons, electrons, and protons, and the number of electrons and protons are always equal and stay equal. And quantum physics, when you look at quantum physics, if you increase the positive frequency, the negative frequency will increase eventually at the same degree. So it's like there is no, it's kind of like two poles of the magnet. There is no way to have a positive without a negative. There is no way to have a negative without a positive. It's just impossible. So whenever we say an incident is traumatic and we think it was negative, it actually wasn't. So the idea of trauma at the first place is just some illusionary thought. It's a dream. There are no traumas. Traumas are just experiences you had in your past, which you labeled negative, and that's not true, because they weren't only negative, they had some positive. But what you do is, whenever you label something and judge something as negative, because negative can't exist without the positive, you're kind of like telling to yourself, I want to see this incident, I want to look at this incident and just see it as negative. Barış, şeyi unutmuş olabilir miyiz, light?
Sorun değil.
Okay. So you just tell to yourself, I want to see this as negative. So what happens is, the positive side of that incident or whatever is happening is recorded in your brain synapses as a positive ion, and it is called the subconscious mind. It is suppressed in your subconscious, and you think that incident or that experience was negative. Maybe you keep on thinking that was negative. You are on your own illusion. That's why neuroscientists say 95% of the whole overall generation, our population, are in their own illusions. Because whenever you see things as negative, you're in an illusion. Whenever you see things as positive, you're also in an illusion. But the most important thing for me is the fact that whenever we do that, in our brain synapses, there is a photographic memory recorded as a positive or negative ion. The more ions we have, the less our IQ will be. That's what interests me. That's why I'm interested in episodic memories, because as the number of episodic memories increase, the number of the potential to have attention deficit disorders also increase. ADD, ADHD, the number increases hugely and people become Alzheimer's. Because those episodic memories slow down the rate of your brain, the rate of the energy in the brain synapses. So the more episodic memories you have, the more stupid we become. The less creative we become. So that's a big thing. And how do we dissolve those episodic memories is a big concept for us that we have in the accelerator, a special part where we only work on the episodic memories to dissolve them, because we can now dissolve with psychoanalysis, combining psychoanalysis methods, combining psychoanalysis and neuroscience, we can neutralize those episodic memories. So whenever we judged, we had these episodic memories, and whenever we judge, we're actually not looking at life with bare eyes. We think we see something, but we're just seeing through our own ideas of what is. But that's not what is. Why am I explaining all of this? Because a mind that is highly creative, that has high IQ, that we can call genius, and a brain that works faster than most brains, finds solutions faster than most brains, is a more clean brain. A mind with high IQ has less episodic memories. And the more judgments you have, the more episodic memories you have, the more noise you will have in your mind. So what wakes you up at night, what wakes people up at night is not usually the mission. It is the noise in their heads, their existing judgments. So that's why I say, just asking the question, what wakes you up at night, is not enough, because that's your conditioning. And whenever you build something with a conditioning, you don't have roots for the business, or you don't have roots because it's not purposeful. In my TEDx talk earlier, I'm talking about the mean and meaningful. I'm interested in languages and different words and how different words were shaped. For example, the word mean and the word meaning, I think is very interesting. Because the mean, I have been learning about the mean all my life in physics and in math, in biology, in psychology. The mean is what everything exists of. Everything is trying to come back to the mean. 0 point. In math, everything is trying to come back to the mean. Physics, mean. It's like physical laws. It's always about the mean, the balance, the mean. It's like, the pressure from, for example, when you look at this, for example, the computer and this desk which holds it, the pressure of the computer and the pressure of the desk, the pressure of the desk is equal. That's why this doesn't fall off or this doesn't jump into the air. It's like everything is coming to the mean, everything is trying to come to the mean, and there is a balance in the universe. So whenever we speak about universal laws, I think that's kind of like the first and most important law, which is balance. Everything is balanced, everything is coming to the mean. And the mean, when you look at the mean, we also have a mean. We also have, that's why people talk about being centered or centeredness. It's like being balanced. We humans also have a mean, which is our purpose. Whenever I am connected with my mean, as you know in English, ing is about action, acting and action. And the word meaning is me acting from my mean. Whenever I act from my mean, from my center, purpose, heart and mind, and everything aligned, I create and I vibrate with meaning, and I create meaningful lives, a meaningful life, meaningful businesses, meaningful relationships, which last. But whenever I create or imagine or do something around business with a conditioned mind, because that conditioned thinking system is not even real, it crashes at the end. It's like we lose friends, and we lose money, and we lose businesses, and we fail businesses because we started those businesses and those relationships with a conditioned mind. So the reason why conditioning in the mind is very important for me is because I know if you're just building a company with a conditioned mind, for example, if you're building a solution, listen to this real carefully, because this is what I would really like you to understand. It's the most important thing for any founder, any investor to understand. If you're building a company with the idea that something negative is happening out there, and you're solving it, bringing something positive, physically, metaphysically, that wasn't negative. It had positive. So that something negative isn't happening in the first place. That's your personal dream. You think that's a negative, and then you try to solve something with its positive, but actually the negative wasn't there. It existed with the positive. It is already being solved, and nobody needs your product. Simple as that. The conditioned mind does that. When you are disconnected from reality, what is real, when you think, something is missing, you're trying to compensate it with the other opposite, but the other opposite was already there. So nobody needed that. You're just doing your own thing in your own world. Just like, this might feel strong, but I'm going to say it anyway, just like the anti-war organizations, I suggest humans do some more research on war. Since humans existed on this planet, the number of days we did not have war is 12. 12. There is no way humanity will ever stop war. I don't like war. I don't hate war, neither of them. It is just what it is. But I also know physical laws. I also know that the more I push this, the less this will hold. So all of the anti-anything only supports what you're anti-of. And I can explain you with this, what I'm going to say, with math and physics laws. I can explain and I can show you that this is the truth. If we didn't have all these anti-war groups, we wouldn't have this much war. Period. Physics. Law of physics. The more you push, it's gonna just build up more. So anything we are anti-of, we will experience more of. And that's the same thing with your mind. Anything you judge and anything you haven't been able to love, anything you are anti-of, you're going to experience more of it. So what I'm saying here is people who are more clear in their minds, who have clarity in their minds and less episodic memories and less judgments, have easier lives. And in the investment world, in the startup world, you probably have been hearing tough journeys of founders and tough journeys. And I joined the event, a Woman Ventures Summit event 2 years ago at San Francisco area. And there was a highly successful entrepreneur on stage saying, being an entrepreneur, being a founder is like raining shit on you every day and getting used to it. And I was like, maybe it doesn't have to be that way. You know? Maybe if you're not conditioned, you know, because whenever you're conditioned, you're making it hard. You know? If you have anti or judgments, you're just creating all those problems which didn't exist in the first place. If you worked on those in your mind, entrepreneurial journey might be an easier journey. And interestingly enough, we have a podcast at NevCap, and I suggest listen to the first episodes because I had one episode with Avi Loeb, who is a very famous professor at Harvard. He's an astrophysicist, and his documentary will be released in Netflix around February. He's a big deal in America, and I think all over the world as well, with his ideas, and you know, he's such a genius, and his IQ levels are amazing. I met him in Berlin a year ago, and we clicked right away, and we kept on talking about universal stuff and physics and astrophysics, and he's an amazing guy. And we had this conversation, and his journey hasn't been hard. He's one of the best astrophysics in the world. His books, extraterrestrial, have become movies, Hollywood movies. His documentary is being released, but when you ask him, he doesn't say, my journey has been like shit raining on me all day and getting used to it. He says, I'm just doing what I'm doing, and it just flows. And then I did another podcast with Dr. DeMartini. He said the same thing. I just found people, that happened with me as well. There were just people gathering around me, wanted to listen to my talks, and then I just became a teacher. The groups got bigger and bigger and bigger. That's the exact same thing that happened to me. Groups gathered, I started talking, I wanted to talk. I wanted to talk about what I know and what I discovered about human behavior and self-mastery. And people started gathering, the group started getting bigger and bigger, and then business opportunities followed. It just flowed. I wouldn't call my entrepreneurial journey raining shit on me every day and getting used to it. I wouldn't call it that way. I wouldn't say it was tough. I would say it was fun. And I'm still having a lot of fun. I would say I enjoyed every bit of it. I would say there were amazing challenges showing me the way, and the challenges were like, wow, this is the next step, next building block, next step in the, I'm just moving top of the stairs, the next step on the stairs. So it's like, whenever we are mission-driven, purposeful, and whenever we're aligned with our truth, everything just flows. It's just easy, because the universe wants us to act from our mean. The universe is a meaningful place. And whenever we are aligned with our mean, because we're part of that universal flow, everything flows. So I'm here to basically, or the investors watching us as well, I'm here to lower the risk of investors by helping founders align with their mean, who they are, build businesses around what they love doing, with the answer to the question, if I gave you all the money and all the time, what would you be doing? And help founders build businesses around that, so that they become unstoppable and they spend their lifetime aligned with a meaningful purpose, so that they don't dream about retirement, but instead, like me, they're like, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. I just love it so much. There's no way I'm gonna stop until my last breath, because I love it. And if you have a business just like that, and that's what some experts say, create a business you don't need a vacation from. Again, it's a bit cliche, but it is possible. It's like, if your business becomes your life, it's fun, it's interesting, you love it, you spend time enjoying it. I love waking up in the morning doing the meetings. It's so meaningful. Acting from our mean allows us to do that. And today, I'm going to teach you a method how you can do that. I have been wondering why some people do what they say and some people don't. And this is something to understand as well. For me to be able to, this is going to be a stretch for your mind, but I'm certain you are going to understand. If I would like to be someone who does what she says, I will need to be aligned. My mind will need to be aligned with what is. I'm going to say it again. It's simple but deep. If I would like to be someone who does what she says, and I'm going to stretch it, who does everything she says, who is highly respectful, who is highly resourceful, who is highly self-resilient, and can highly govern herself, who does what she says, my mind needs to be crystal clear and aligned with what is. Because what is, is. If I am aligned with what is, and that's the prefrontal cortex being active, as many teachers, neuroscientists talk about, if I am clear in my mind, and I'm not using the lower parts of the brain, which is instinctive and impulsive, but the high part of the brain, which is a visionary, I live life aligned with what is, the universe. And the universe, whether you like it or not, whether you are part of it or not, is moving towards somewhere. It is ever evolving. There is one thing you can't stop, no matter who you are in the world. Whether you're an American citizen or president or British citizen or president or Turkish president, we have such a interesting president. You just can't stop the evolution that is happening. It is just moving. And it is going somewhere. So for me to be a man of my word or a woman of my word, there's only one way. That's to be just aligned with the already existing flow. If I'm a visionary, and if I can see, I'm connected with my mission, if I can see where I'm going, where I'm going to be in 5 years, in 10 years, then I can say, I'm going to be doing this in 5 years because it's happening. But if I'm in a conditioned mindset, I can't say that, and I don't know. And many people don't see where they are headed, and they don't give their words aligned with what is happening because they are distracted and they're not aligned with what is happening. Because they are in their illusions, everything I explained until now. So whenever we are in our own illusion, we are distracted and we are disaligned from what is. Whenever we are clear, purposeful, missionary, aligned, visionaries, then we are aligned with the universal flow, and our minds work aligned with what is. And that is, I don't invest time and energy to what isn't. I invest time and energy to what is happening, to actuality. Because I am actual and connected with what is actual, not with my dreams. Most people dream, and most people chase their dreams. That's okay, but it won't create legacies. Dreams do not create a legacy. Only actuality does. Only actual thoughts. Only what is the legacy. Only when I'm inspired from within and clear about my values, from there I succeed. So we all have goals, we all have dreams. There's a difference between goals and dreams. Dreams are with a conditioned mind. You look at someone, you look at someone's life, and you just make a positive meaning out of it. You chase that life with a conditioned mind, which is not your life, and then you do something, but then lose it. Or you build a company, fail. You get in a relationship, fail, lose the relationship. We all had it. I had it many times. We all had it. When we are disconnected from our mean, our energy, our time is lost. And I'm at the age where I don't want to do that anymore, so that's why I plan. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Planning, thinking, deep thinking, and self-mastery path is about actually not failing, because seeing the actual. People who live, this is what I found, years of research. People who live according to their values and priorities do what they say. People who don't, don't. People who are clear, purposeful, usually do what they say. People who are distracted, who have distorted perceptions, who are judgmental, don't and can't. Because this is basic human behavior. Each human being only does what they value. This is true for your children. This is true for yourself. You cannot act with a conditioned mind, at least for a long time, a long period of time. You probably all experienced getting on a relationship, meeting someone and maybe feeling love and excited, and then you inject their values. And for example, exercise is not your value, and they're exercising every day, going to gym every day, and you inject their values. You try to go to gym and exercise with them the first week, second week, third week, you're gone. They're alone, because you don't go back to your values. You have other things on your plate, other things that are more important too. No human being can continue acting with a conditioned mindset. Even though you inject other people's values, you can't go on with that mindset for a long time. That's why most businesses fail if they start with a conditioned mind, because you can't go on building a company with a conditioned mind if you're not truly heartfelt interested in that. So if you'd like to tap into your fullest potential, knowing that hierarchy of values is one of the most important steps you take. Understanding your values allows us to find our life purpose and live in harmony with it. So it's kind of like with the formula we're going to work now after we take a break and get the questions. I'm going to be teaching you a basic formula which will probably help you understand yourself. I'm not saying that you're not understanding yourself, you probably do, but on a deeper level, when we live according to our highest values, the genius in our being awakens and we begin to do extraordinary things and live an inspiring life. So out of curiosity, who is interested in this? Usually founders, entrepreneurs are. That's the difference between an entrepreneur and a normal human being. We are animals. Wow, I want to know. No, it's like maybe it's the more evolved version, but this is the difference. That if this interests you, you have self-mastery in your blood. You have in your destiny, you are here to master your life, and you are not going to, you are like me, injected something else, and you are not going to sleep well until you do it. And that is actually one of the things that will not wake you up in the evening, but that will kind of keep chasing you over here in your heart, and you'll keep on seeing what's not working, and you will want to, get better and better and better on it. And that's basically what the entrepreneurial journey is. If we understand that the reason why people become entrepreneurial is because they want to be on top of their self-evolution process. They say, like, I don't want others to determine my path and my evolution. I want to decide on how I want to evolve. I am interested in evolution on my own path, on my own terms. I want to grow. I want to create my own challenges. I'm not okay with other people's challenges. I want to deliberately create my challenges, and entrepreneurs are challenge-creating machines. If you're a true entrepreneur, your existence is a problem. If you're a founder, and if your existence is not creating stress and problem, you're not a true founder. Because a founder, their whole existence is about creating stress on other people, creating new problems. You are the challenge to this world. You are challenging the world. You're here to disrupt. You're here to change. You're here to create stress. You're here to push people forward. You're here to say, come on, get up. Let's do this. Not enough. Let's do better. Let's do better. Because you want to do better. Because you want to be the best version of yourself. And I think this is also very important to understand. Entrepreneurs are after becoming the best version of themselves, period. And the goal you're setting for yourself is only important because it's going to create the journey you'll get better. Because that's why many people say it's about the journey. And many people will also keep on saying, or masters, or entrepreneurs who are successful, or people who are highly successful will say, it's not about the goal. The goal isn't important. The objectives isn't important as you thought. It is the path. Because the higher the goal, who you become focused on that goal, on that vision, is the most important thing. An entrepreneurial journey is about that. Who you become focused on a goal. That's why entrepreneurs or other people with goals, when they reach a goal, they say, I'm not fulfilled. I have met founders who set a goal for themselves, reached that goal, did everything they can, not seeing that life as a whole, just focusing on business, not paying attention to relationships, their health, family, nothing, just business, 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 because they think the goal is very important, and they made it mean only positive, not seeing the negative sides, and then chasing that goal, and then reach that goal, and they were like, I'm still not fulfilled. I have met relatives of highly successful people who committed suicide, who said it was never enough. It's not about the goal. It's about who you become in that journey. It's always about, is your life meaningful or not? Because if it's not meaningful, what's the use? It's like, I think this is something also to be said for all the founders. It's like, after I teach you this and what we teach in the accelerator, I'm not a big fan of how the startup, where the startup industry is going, or how it's taught to founders and entrepreneurs. Why? Because just like the American dream, especially young founders and entrepreneurs are conditioned every day to a dream which does not exist. Just like the American dream, only the positives are, shown to people. And we are conditioned right now through social media. I see it in young generation everywhere. We are conditioned that most people are conditioned. I'm just speaking general. Especially young generation are conditioned that riding a Ferrari is more positive than riding a Fiat. Or having your private jet is more positive than flying economy on an average airplane. In actuality, these are just different forms. They're not different from each other at all. In the human experience, very basic human experience, whether you're in a Ferrari or in a Fiat, you're just in a car going from one place to the other. In one, maybe your ass is a little comfortable, You're just a human being in the universe, moving from one place to the other. But because most of humanity is easily conditioned, now we are being conditioned. And I'm not talking about mission-driven founders who would do anything to serve humanity and who just don't care about how. And we have amazing examples. I would say, even though there are a lot of people who doesn't like him, I would say Elon Musk is one of them. Because as you can see from his life, or if you read the book or watch him, he's just nuts. for sure, but he's just interested in serving humanity. He's just obsessed about bringing humans to Mars. And he doesn't care about anything else. He just have been living in that, when they were sending that spaceship. He lived there for like 7 months, 8 months in a little hut. He just doesn't give a damn. And we have great examples in Turkey. Like we have a family friend, the Koç family, which are one of the top 5 families in Turkey. The Koç family, Sabancı family. I'm part of the Karamehmet family. We have like top 10 families in Turkey which build amazing wealth and businesses. Koç is one of them, and Vehbi Koç, probably the Turkish friends know his name, who built the $1 billion company from scratch himself. He would fly economy. And they would ask him, why don't you fly business? Because he has wealth and everything. He would say, he would answer them, his colleagues in the company, he would tell them, why isn't the front rows in the plane going to the same place? Is the front row going to another place? No. Okay, so I fly economy. What's the big deal? Geniuses and great minds are true value in this world. Mission-oriented people, purposeful people, they're unstoppable. But they're not conditioned like the rest. And that is what I call real success. I wouldn't want my friends, my relatives, my family, also the founders I work with, build a company that is meaningless, have the money, and then you look back at your life and you spend 20 years of your life or 10 years of your life unfulfilled on a meaningless journey, and you're like empty inside. You just lost 10 years of your life. That's why I would like you to build meaningful businesses, because you are the meaning. It's like you are more important than the business or the money. I'm here to talk about that. And you are conditioned. I see people being conditioned, and this is deliberately. And interestingly enough, if you research, this is right now how slavery is going on in the world. TikTok, that's social media, that's this social media, conditioning people into working like slaves. Just conditioning them into Ferrari, not Fiat, all those luxurious vacations, not this and not this. Trying to make something, make a fantasy out of reality. I'm here to remind you that more money will mean more problems. The more money you have, the more problems you will have. The less money you have, the less problems you have. But then the less money you have, you fly economy. But we pay a price for the life we choose. And there is no such thing as all positives and just no negatives. Money, wealth, business, growing the business will bring its own challenges, its own negatives. Everything has equal drawbacks and benefits. And what they are showing us out there is not real. It's just a fantasy. What is real is you, and what is important, not important, it's like what I'm saying is true. The last day of your life, you'll look back at your life, and you'll just look at your life. If you have lived a purposeful life and a meaningful life, you will be full of gratitude. But if you haven't lived a meaningful life, no money, no business can give you that meaning. And the best thing is when we are purposeful and when we are aligned with our mean, we do amazing things. We are on a true mission. We truly serve humanity. We build businesses that serve, that do amazing, and you do grow your businesses and earn the money anyway. So to summarize this, people who are after the money will never have the money. I have a book just being released in Turkey, which is my 13th bestseller book, which is here actually. It is called The Money Consciousness. Esra brought it to me from Istanbul, and she said, we can't find your book because they publish it and then it's gone in a week. Publish the new version, it's gone. So it's selling really well. Due to the fact that Turkish people are less conscious about how they manage their money. And this is kind of like, this book is a big service to, I think, humanity. So once we are focused on our purpose, opportunities and money, everything flows and everything follows. But when we're only focused on money and wealth, we can't have it. And from Warren Buffett to Bill Gates to Elon Musk to Jeff Bezos, anyone who understood what money is, which is not and cannot be a goal. It is a tool we use to bring humanity service. It is a tool we use to be at service. The people who understood that became channels for more and more and more money, and understood that the universe doesn't care about which car you're driving. The universe couldn't care less about which car you're driving. The universe couldn't care less about where you go for on a holiday. A human being's true value depends on how many people you served, or how much you served humanity, or how much connected you were with your purpose. And those individuals who serve are the ones who have the most money, because they become channels. So being wealthy is becoming a channel for money. It's not about holding the money. It's about using the money. It's about being in the flow. It's about being the economy yourself, like being the channel, so that the more money comes, the more services. More money, more service. More money, more service. And inside that, you leverage your standards. Whenever you want to have the money for yourself, you are stuck. And that's what I'm talking about in the book. But it's and I have researched over 50 wealthy individuals, Turkish and all around the world, before I wrote that book. And there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy. Wealth comes from, the word wealth comes from wellness and health. It is about how wealthy you are inside. It's about purpose. It's about purposefulness. It is about meaning. When you're clear on your purpose, clear on your mission, you become wealthy, you become resourceful, and then when you vibrate, to summarize everything I said, with a mission at a different frequency, you become a money magnet. Not because you want the money for yourself or for luxury, because you are mission driven and you are here to serve, and money is here to serve your mission. Money is not here to serve you. There is a difference. Money is to serve your mission. Money is only interested in your mission, your purpose. It's not interested in you. And that's why I usually say there's a lot of money in the world right now. It is so easy to raise capital right now, but only for people or for founders who are purposeful. Because you vibrate at a different frequency, and you just become this magnet. Because your mission, your heartfelt alignedness is the magnet. So if it may sound a little esoteric, but for the founders who are having a hard time raising, or all the founders watching will watch, hard time raising, hard time attracting customers, hard time attracting opportunities, question your mission. Question yourself, whether you're purposeful or mission-oriented or not. Because I haven't yet seen any founder They say burning desire, but it's not a desire because desiring means suffering, or passion means suffering. So it's not desire, it's not passion, it is inner inspiration. Connecting with your heart and mind being one, being mission driven, clear about your values and priorities, who you are, and just living a life you love, doing what you love. I haven't yet seen any founder who had that and who haven't been able to raise capital. Like I gave you my example, Jason literally made fun of me in front of all those 40 people. No, but it's like he's right. At that time I was like, I worked on that pitch, you know? No, I think this is a good idea, you know? A good business idea. I was a bit biased about breathwork. But he has a point. And he said, you're one of the most charismatic individuals I have ever seen. And then he learned about my half Greek bloodline. And he was like, he's also Greek, so he was like, that's why. He's biased about Greece and being Greek. And that's how it all happens. It's like, you just, everything is easy. So I want to support you on that. Whenever we are aligned with our values, and our mission, because you are who the universe wants you to be, doors open up. By trying to be, not by trying to be someone else tough. When our minds are conditioned, we tend to live according to an outside authority, doing what you think is right, rather than our authentic selves, and then we have a lower frequency. We don't vibrate at a higher frequency. We lose chances, opportunities. We can't raise. We can't attract customers. We get stuck. We set goals misaligned from who we are. Those are fantasies. So trying to succeed with outside motivation is hard. And even though a level of success comes from it, it's not fulfilling and it's not long-lasting. So we're going to look at what your life demonstrates, because our lives demonstrate your values. And determining the hierarchy of your values is the key to empowerment and self-appreciation. It is the key to living an easier life, opportunities chasing you, you going beyond your limits. And I have seen this happen multiple times. This method will help you live congruently with your unique values, which I'm going to be teaching. And I have, and maybe Esra, you can, because Esra has started the Business Mastery Program and has been working on her mind. We just have a 5 days, we're just out of a 5 days workshop with, we were what, 110 people, 112 people? Yeah, we had an intense 5 days self-mastery, intense workshop where she also attended, part of the Business Mastery Program, and she worked with your mind. And she just arrived today telling me, you know what happened? Everything started changing last week. What started changing, Esra?
Yeah, actually,
in your business.
We've been trying to find ways over 6 months, and in a week we had solve commitments, and also we got.
So you did after the workshop and after working with your mind,
yeah,
and after that workshop,
because
you did what you couldn't do for 6 months in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And we started.
Masters are shapeshifters. We just shape the universe the way we want, and this is real. It's like it sounds a little esoteric, I know, but this is neuroscience as well. Yeah.
Yeah. We also started the two of the biggest banks in a start
customers
partnership. Yes. We've been working, I don't know, I think over 1 year, and last week we
get those customers.
Yes.
It happens in a week.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
And this is what I mean when I say in my podcast or videos, masters with their clarity and with their innate wisdom and power, they just do one thing, get 100 results. Masses do 100 things, get one result. So a master would get the same result the masses get in a day or two, in a week. The masses will get that result in a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe never. So that's the difference between successful founders and unsuccessful founders, which is, I mean, of course, there are different ideas about success, but businesses that grow and thrive and businesses that fail. And that is how we help founders, because this is what I've been seeing, what does not exist right now in the entrepreneurial journey. And I don't know why, in one level, but I know why in another level, because that was my why. Why it doesn't exist is because I am here for this to exist. And now you also started understanding the big why. It's like your big why, what you came here to do really, truly, does not yet exist. That is why it's the highest value. It is the diamond you hold in your hands that is priceless. Because there is something only you can create. And you can't know about that until you have a clear mind and until you have mastered your mind. So it's like, it's like we're all sitting on top of tens of millions of pounds. You have something unique which no one else has. Authentic, creative ideas, a geniusness within you, nobody has. But it is so cluttered with the conditioning and with the thoughts that you just don't see it. And I am here for people to find it. Because when they find it, like Esra says, bam, it's seen, it's noticeable. People are like, okay, I want to work with you. I want to partner up. This is the project. The universe keeps on supporting you and bringing you opportunities. It's just insane. And that is what is not existing yet in the entrepreneurial founder journey around the world. So I'm here building that for the past couple of years now. So this is what NERCAP is about. Any questions?